The carbonara cooled while my father paced by the window, sweeping a hand toward my spare rooms like a tour guide. Mom hunched over her phone tallying moving quotes. My sister Tess and her husband Dylan sat close, grinning. I put my fork down and waited. "This place is wasted on one person," Dad said, striding through my 3-bedroom as if pricing it. "You work from home, no kids. Your mother and I are jammed into that retirement shoebox, and Tess and Dylan are burning rent across town. The extra rooms are idle," Mom added. Tess brightened. "We did the math. Dylan and I take the primary, bigger closet. You get the small room. Mom and Dad can have the middle. We'll share the living areas." "Share," I repeated. Dylan eyed the walls. "We'll bring real furniture, color, make it feel like a home." Dad turned, magnanimous. "We're not imposing, honey, just practical. Family shares." "When's this happening?" I asked. "Tomorrow," Mom said. "Movers at 9. I drank water. Beyond the glass, the entry checkpoint blinked. Badges, guards, quiet steel. "Did any of you ask where I live?" They blinked. "You live here," Dad said, baffled. "Do you know where here is?" I asked. "The building, the district." "The Kensington Arms," Mom said. "We've been a dozen times." "On Embassy Row," I said. "Inside the International District for Diplomatic Personnel." Silence hollowed the room. "It's a nice neighborhood," Dylan tried. "It's protected housing," I said, opening my lease on my phone. "Residents require authorization and clearance," Dad laughed thinly. "You're not a diplomat, you do computer stuff." "I'm a senior cybersecurity analyst at State," I said. "TSSCI, the apartment is part of my posting. You cannot move in." The fork was still down when Dad forced a laugh. "So we can't stay with our own daughter because of red tape?" "It isn't tape," I said. "It's law. You've visited only as pre-approved guests, logged 48 hours in advance and escorted by me. You've never had badges. You're not authorized to reside here." Mom's tone thinned. "You could have told us before we booked movers." "You could have asked before booking them." I slid my phone across the table. The claws glowed in pale blue. "Unauthorized residents are a security violation." Tess went pale. Dylan typed furiously, doom-scrolling the building rules. Dad's voice sagged. "Family should count for something. Family doesn't outrank federal clearance." I stood. "Your visit tonight ends at 8. After that, you'll be escorted out." At 8:03 p.m., a text pinged from security. "Visitor window closing." Mom tucked her phone into her purse with trembling hands. We rode the elevator down, quiet. Morning, 8:47. My phone blew up. Photos of a truck halted at the outer gate, my parents arguing with 2 unmovable guards. I called downstairs. "This is Mara Lynn, Unit 7F, I said. "The movers have no authorization. Please proceed with standard protocol." "Yes, Miss Lynn," the officer said. "We'll clear the perimeter." 20 minutes later, the buzzer rang. Patricia Moreno, building management, stood at my door with a tablet and a composed expression. "We're filing an incident report. I need your statement." They had no approval. I informed them yesterday. They arrived anyway. She noted, then softened. "People assume security bends for family. It doesn't. You did the right thing." I signed. "Flag their names." "We have. Future visits will require your escort." I exhaled, bracing for the aftermath. By noon, the truck was gone. My phone kept buzzing. Voicemails from Dad, texts from Tess, and a furious message from Dylan itemizing costs. I turned the screen face down and made tea in the quiet of my own kitchen. 3 days later, an email from the housing authority arrived. Incident logged. Attempted unauthorized move-in. It asked if I was under pressure and whether I required added security. I wrote back, "No coercion. Family acted without consent. Protocol followed. No further measures needed." 10 minutes later, another email closed the loop. I felt something settle in me. Relief and a cleaner perimeter. I reopened my door to the room Tess earmarked for Dylan's gaming den. My terminal waited on the clean desk. The cipher locker winked a green diode. Classified briefs queued for review. This is why there are 3 bedrooms, I thought. Not because space is wasted, but because the work requires walls and locks that click. The building returned to rhythm. In the evenings, badges flashed in the lobby. Guards checked tablets. The elevator breathed its ascent. An envelope arrived through internal mail. My father's handwriting. He said they'd gone back to the retirement place, that Tess and Dylan found a pricier rental, that I chose rules over family. He asked for an apology. I fed the letter into my shredder and watched the strips curl into the bin like paper ferns. I owed them clarity, not contrition. Boundaries are not betrayals. They are doors that close. At dusk, I stood by the window, the checkpoint steady below. 3 rooms, 1 life, all authorized. I set my phone to Do Not Disturb, opened the brief marked Urgent, and started my work.